how's it going, everyone? WTFSexyHeadphones here. Happy Mondays or Tuesdays to you guys. So if you've been keeping up with my Facebook fan page, you all know that there's been some difficulties trying to get Stalker back up and running, and it has been nothing but a challenge, I suppose you could say, and it's all just really silly stuff too. As I mentioned, again, if you guys keep up on that page, so I was having issues getting Stalker working to the point where I was like reaching out to you guys and be like, okay, fucking help me out. I'm trying to get this up and running so I can play this and I can record again and we could have that Let's Play back up and running, because right now the only thing I've given you guys last week was BioShock. And so what apparently happened was it kept crashing the moment I would load a new game. So this is not using save files or anything. This would just be, okay, to try and see if I can get it running. Let's just do a brand new game, see how it loads. And all it ends up doing is crashing at shaders every fucking time. Crashing at motherfucking shaders. Every damn time. So after doing a bunch of different types of fixes, changing your launch settings and changing a couple this and that and blah, 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 it ended up being something really, I feel, stupid. And reason for that is when you download Autumn Aurora, it gives you a handful of settings that you can choose from. How do you want this to be? How do you want this to be? How do you want that to be? How do you want that to be? Okay. So where my difficulty was, I believe, because it changed right after, or well, it worked right after I changed this, is I set it up for dynamic lighting, and it says, hey, if you choose dynamic lighting when you play the game, you cannot have it on static lighting. Okay, so dynamic lighting, whatever, blah, 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 blah. After monkeying around with it for God knows how much time, because I'm trying to get it to fucking work, and I'm trying to change all these things and figure out, okay, where did I go wrong? Is there corrupt files? Let me uninstall it again. Let me verify the cache. Let me fucking change the launch settings. Blah, 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 blah. I decided to finally check my in-game settings, and I guess it's automatically on static lighting. Now, in my mind, and I guess this is the problem with making assumptions, is when it was asking me, like, what settings do you want? How do you want it set up? In my mind, I was like, okay, well, it's going to be set up when the fucking game starts. Apparently not. So despite the fact that I was like, yes, dynamic lighting, I guess they just wanted to know what I planned on using rather than just be like, yes, let us change it to dynamic lighting. I assumed that it was like, oh, we're going to change it to however you fucking set it up. Apparently it was just kind of like, what's your preference? What's your preference on your lighting? Make sure not to use the other one then. And so it was generically on static lighting, and once I changed that, the game fucking loads. Hallelujah. So, and then my next big issue was saved files. So the hard drive that I put all of my old PC on, it's a relatively new hard drive. I got it from a friend for Christmas. It's like 2 terabytes, holds a motherfucking fuck ton of shit. So that, plug it on in, nothing fucking happens. Shit. Now, in my mind, I'm like, so like I moved, obviously, as you guys can tell, I'm not where I normally am. I moved, but the thing is like I moved my stuff. Like I wasn't like some UPS guy just like throwing shit around and just be like tossing boxes. Like it was all nicely, neatly stacked and carried around. So I'm just like, I don't know how it would get damaged in the fucking move. Like it's not like I was throwing my shit around. It's all nicely packed into a box and blah, 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 blah. So after a bunch of dicking around with that, like, I was thinking maybe it's the power cable, because it has, like, one of those, like, power bricks to it, and it was making kind of, like, a weird buzzing noise. So I'm like, you know what, maybe just the cable went out, or the port went out. So I start fucking around, and I start pulling this thing apart, because an external hard drive is just an internal fucking hard drive in a goddamn shell. So I start pulling this fucker apart, and I get to where you have your internal setups. So, like, your, is it SATA? So your SATA cable, whatever, which way it's pronounced. And then the part that plugs it into your power supply. So I unplug my disk drive, and I fucking put it in there. Start my computer, nothing fucking happens. So then I unplug my terabyte hard drive that I have in my computer, since everything's running off my solid state drive, plug it on in, and then nothing still fucking happens. It doesn't read at all. Fuck. 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 And then I tried just putting it back together and plugging it in. Like I have 3 USB ports, and I just like threw it into a USB port. Nothing fucking happens. Shit. So then I'm thinking too, not only would it suck to redo Stalker all over again because it's a long game, and I've had to do that before. You guys, if you have watched my Misery Let's Play years ago, at the very end of the game, there was literally 1 or 2 episodes left, and it just would not stop crashing. There was something corrupt, it would not stop crashing, and I could not get past it. And I think for some reason I had to start a new game over, and I think I streamed it for you guys. I don't know, it was obscene. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so not only do I have my Stalker save files and things like that on there, which is why I'm trying to get my fucking hard drive working, so I can finally have it all working, I realized something. I used to have about 3 or 4 different type of terabyte hard drives with like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this on it, and I'm like, I really need to go through my files and consolidate them and get everything organized, get rid of shit I don't need, because we all kind of start hoarding files at some point, and then we forget about them because they're on like externals, all these externals. I realized that all of my externals I cleared out and I put all on one so I can organize it and then, you know, make backups. Which I did the consolidation part, and then I've been busy and I forgot to do the rest of that. So not only is just like my save files on there, but I realized, if you guys remember, I graduated with a degree in digital photography. All of my photography work is on there. All of it. Every single fucking thing that isn't uploaded to the internet, my raw files and everything, are all on this fucking hard drive. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, I don't have it backed up anywhere. Like, I should have at least made another fucking backup and then, like, went through the files once everything's done, clean it up, and then just delete the other one and copy and paste. But I completely forgot to fucking do that because I got busy, and I'm like, I have literally everything that I've ever backed up in the history of my computers and photography work on one fucking hard drive that does not want to turn on, that I tried, like, 3 different ways to fucking turn on. Holy shit, I'm a fucking retard. So then I'm getting crazy and I'm getting creative with my thought process here, because I'm like, you know what? There's like some CIA motherfuckers that can get into damaged, tampered with hard drives from criminals when they really need to. I'm like, there's a fucking way to get in here, man. I'm like, I know there's a fucking way to get into this fucking hard drive because fucking CIA motherfuckers can do it. I'm like, you're still in there. I fucking know you are. I ain't giving up on you. And then just for the hell of it, you know how you just try things for the hell of it? Like, you're kind of giving up. You're like, I tried plugging it in 2 different ways until, like, directly into the computer. I tried fucking plugging it in on the back of my computer in the front of it with, like, how it's normally supposed to be a USB cable, and you're just kind of like, whatever. And then I literally unplug it, plug it into a different USB port. It turns on. It's just like, oh, hi, friend. Hey, here's your hard drive. And I'm just like, I went through all this work. And I'm not mad, because obviously I just explained to you everything I would have lost, so I'm just kind of like stunned. I'm just like looking at like the bottom of my screen where it pops up saying this hard drive's connected. I'm just like, what's happening? I'm like, I ain't gonna complain. So then I instantly, like, I don't touch a thing. I'm like going up here. I'm like, don't touch the fucking cables. I'm like, nobody touch the cable. It's not gonna connect. I'm like, no one touch the fucking cables. I'm like literally like trying not to touch anything. And then I instantly just like copy everything. And then put it on my current terabyte. Like, I have a 2 terabyte in my computer, so I put it on there, and then the moment that's done, I grab one of my backup hard drives, and then I fucking do the same thing all over again. So I now have, assuming that hard drive will work again if I turn it back on, I now have 3 different places everything's at, and I got my Stalker files back. So that's what's been going on in my life lately, you guys. That's what's been going on. So lots of fun stuff, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know I should be smarter to make sure I have backups first. And it's just one of those things where you just kind of get careless and you're like, this has never happened to me before. Like, now I'll be fine. Like, when I get to it, and then you're just like, shit, this is why you think other people are idiots, because you're like, why didn't you have it backed up? Like, feel like a retard, but you know what? It ended up working. I just don't fucking understand. I literally plugged it in 4 different ways, and then I'm just like, let me just change what USB port it's in. And I did in like two other USB ports too. I did directly into my computer, and I've never had issues with it in the past. Like, I could just plug it in anywhere and it fucking works. And then I'm just like, fucking, just for the hell of it, I'm just like, oh, just let me plug it in here. Ta-da-da-da, works. So that's what's been going on. So anyway, holy crap, I've been going on a long time. Long stories, you guys. I'm trying to catch up with you all because, you know, there's so much time we had apart, so I'm just going to keep blabbering. So Stalker, I tested one of the save files. I did not do much with it, but I just loaded where we last left off, which was in the lab, and it loaded, it was running, so if it decides to crash, I have no idea because I didn't continue because obviously I need to record it, but I tested it and it was fucking working. It read my old save files for Autumn Aurora when I had on my last computer, so it should be good. So I should have Stalker to you guys soon unless anything else wants to happen, but I know it's loaded my save files, so if it decides to fuck up, you know, I don't know when it will yet. But so that's everything that's going on. There's a giant Godzilla statue next to me. My boyfriend is a fucking nerd when it comes to Godzilla, and that's like a 3-foot statue. It's got this huge ass tail. Fucking look at this. Look at this in accordance to me. He brought this home yesterday, and I'm like trying to play Overwatch because there's an event, and he's just like fucking poking me in the fucking face with it, and he would not leave me alone until I petted it because he's weird. And then he realized that he has no idea where to put it, so it's just sitting next to me because he has no idea where the fuck to put a 3-foot Godzilla statue with a giant ass tail. Anyway, holy shit, we're going on 10 minutes. So what I forgot to go into, yeah, we'll go into it next week. Eventually, I'll let you guys know. Eventually. I've blabbered on long enough. We're going at 11 minutes, so when I stop talking as much, I'll let you guys know whatever the fuck I was trying to tell you before. Anyway, so you guys have a happy rest of the Mondays and Tuesdays, or Tuesdays rather. I will see you guys tomorrow in hopefully some Stalker. I'm going to go ahead and work on recording that right now, so if something fucking happens, I will rant to you guys about it on my Facebook fan page. If you want to wait and anticipate the rant, the Facebook fan page is down below. Feel free to check it out. Bye! Feel my power!